Thank you, everyone, for subscribing to Infinitely Productions. If you have not done so, please click the bell and subscribe.
The family, see, or Arab Brigade in Italian.
Now, within the ranks of this army of crime, these soldiers, were they all at the same level, or did you have sergeants and captains and some degree?
We had, for instance, I'll estimate it, we say about 20 to 25 gabardines. And it's some, we call this a regime, like, I don't know how to call it in English. A regime like, say, for instance, I'll talk about my regime. We had about 30 under one lieutenant, like.
Like a regiment. Like a regiment.
Let's get some order here, and one at a time, and if you'll address the chair, the chair will recognize you.
Now, there's other lieutenants may have 60. It varies. Some may have 40. Some may have less. It all varies, you know.
In other words, within this little army, they're broken up in companies or brigades or something.
Right, yeah.
And the whole army would be about 450, 500 under a boss.
Yeah, I rate, say, Gambina's family and Vito Genovese just about almost the same, you know, in as far as how many soldiers are concerned.
One other question on that point. Do all of the soldiers know each other? Did you know who the rest of the army was?
Well, I wouldn't say all of the soldiers know each other.
Most of you knew each other.
If they meet, one introduces another as you go along in life.
Okay. Any further questions? Any questions at this point by any of my colleagues? Any other member?
Mr. Chairman,
Senator Mott.
I think it ought to be clear that we're not speaking about family in the usual sense. This is not family in the sense of fathers and mothers, sons.
No, we're not speaking about that.
This is simply an organization of people who are not necessarily related to each other.
Right. No. What you say, related? No, we're speaking about this Cosa Nostra. That's the expression they use, but not an immediate family. By no means. It don't mean mother or father or sister or brother or anything like that. Is that what you mean, Senator?
Yes. Now, may I ask one more question? Do these families meet as such? Do these 450 members, for example, of one family ever meet for the purpose of doing family business?
Well, my family, I'm there 30 years. They never met, not as a whole. But we did have every Christmas a table, like a dinner. My regime would consist of the 30 I was telling you about. And the rest of the families here and there, some did and some didn't. But my family, the one I belonged to for 30 years, never met as a whole.
So they didn't even know each other, really?
Well, as I said, they would get to know each other as they went along, and meet you meet quite a bit in life as you go. You know, you may be someplace and you know a member, and he's with some member you don't know. He'll introduce him to you.
Well, this is a secret organization. How do you get to know that somebody is a member of the same family?
He'll introduce him to you, for instance, as a friend of ours. That means a member. Now, if he happens to be with someone that isn't a friend of ours, he would just simply say, meet a friend of mine, which means nothing. That's the code between us.
So there was a code that enabled you to identify other members of the family?
Yes.
Did you do anything for the family at all in this time, or did they just do things for you?
Just go out, kill for them.
You'd go out what?
Kill for them.
And you will tell us, in other words, when they asked you to do something like that, you will tell us about that later in the hearing, I gather. Is that correct? And that's the only thing you did for them. That was the only relationship. Is that right?
During the afternoon, Valachi told the committee of his progress from childhood to Cosa Nostra. Quit school at grade 7A, got his working papers at 15, lied about his age and worked honestly for 1 year as a river barge captain, and then in 1922 joined a burglary gang on 108th Street in Manhattan. His colleagues Big Dick Amato, Giovanni Schicciolani, known as Al Brown, Joseph Gagliano, known as Pip the Blind, Charles Albero, known as Charlie Bullets, and Frank Valachi, known as Chick 99. Committee counsel Jerry Adlerman is the questioner.
Now, what type of burglary did you engage in at that time? Could you describe what the
Yes, we
activity was?
we were crashing windows and jewelry windows or fur windows, taking expensive furs and suits, silk, in that line.
Now, what area were you crashing?
You mean what particular area? Any part of the city.
Well, did you specialize in any areas like Madison Avenue or Lexington Avenue
Well,
or
if you
Tremont Avenue or something?
If you want to get, good coats, you had to go to Fifth Avenue or Sixth Avenue or Madison Avenue.
I see. And what would be the nature of the operation? How would you engage in this operation?
Well, we used to throw a milk can in the window. We started that way and grab the coats and run and get in the car and go.
Did you use a car to do that?
Yeah, we developed a name. The police called us Minutemen.
Why? Why did they call you the Minutemen?
Because we got away from the burglary either in a minute's time or less. Because these stores, most of them had what we call homes protection. And they take about 5 to 7 minutes.
Did you ever time them to before you made a real attempt? How would you do that?
Well, I threw a brick in a window on 25th Street once because the patrol office was at 125th Street West. And I had something in mind on 125th Street East. So I threw a brick in to see how long it'd take them to come.
Did you time them?
Yeah, about 5 minutes.
And then you felt safe, and if you could do
Well, I know
less
we can
than
get
that
away
time.
from there in less than a minute or a minute.
How many of these type of robberies would you do in a week at that time?
A couple a week.
2?
2, 3.
Any more than 3?
Well, according to how the weather was.
And what was your function in the...
I used to drive all the time.
You had a reputation as a driver of the getaway car?
Yes.
And did you have your car specially equipped in any way?
I used to get a special pinion gear.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel and check out more of our content. Feel free to give your feedback and suggestions on what we should do next in the comments. This is Infinite Lee Productions. We love ya.